This playthrough is rated M for mature.
Greetings and salutations, everyone. Vauldemare here with another episode of Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor. In the finale episode of this game, we're going to tackle the Black Hand itself. But before that, we'd done everything we can in the world, got our war chiefs together, gathered all the artifacts and relics and runes, and said farewell to our allies as we charged with our orcs to fight the orcs at the gates of Mordor, which we didn't have as many as I thought we would. We only had like a handful against their army, but wasn't very much in the army too. And it was supposed to be against our rival. And that's the interesting thing about the rival system, is that it should have been like someone who maybe killed you multiple times or whatever, but because of the fact I hardly died, and two, I killed most of them pretty early on, that my rival is just some generic regular dude that I didn't even recognize. I was like, oh, he's my rival? The hell? Okay, whatever. And we killed him easily, and then we encountered the Black Hand. The Black Hand dropped the bomb that Celebrimbor had chosen our body. That is why we can't die, because he needed our body. But I guess in this case, both of our what we want is the same, so Tabion doesn't seem to be as annoyed by that. But before we chase down the Black Hand, let's read a few more bits of the lore before we finish this journey. Let's begin. Ithilien. Ithilien, also called Star Moon, are ancient symbols that can be found carved in the living stone and runes of Mordor. They are relics of an ancient kingdom, invisible to all but the Wraith, who can see into the unseen world. The Wraith within Talion can view and activate these symbols of power. More to the point, he feels a distant connection with them. They are relics of his past, which are the runes we found throughout the game. Mirian. These coins are minted by the elven smiths of Ergion and Mirian, and became the currency of the realm, prized throughout Middle-earth. As with the Ithilien, Starmen, with which they are marked their doors, Mirian was wrought from mithril, which they traded with the dwarves for. The currency would commonly be traded between the races of the locations such as the market of Khazad-dûn. To honor the dwarves, Mirian pieces featured Durin's door on one side and its great forges on the other. In the Second Age, the Dark Lord Sauron relentlessly sought the destruction of Mirian, and now the coins are supremely rare relics of long-dead kingdom. Runes. Behold the runes. Elvish smiths detail their great deeds and commemorate the triumphs of long-dead warriors with these enigmatic and powerful markings. The smith employ arcane craft to create these runes, recording the final fate of their enemies into the metallic compound Ithilien, and attach them to their armor, blades, and great bows. In this way, the elves create and cast unique legends for their fabled weapons. This legend will grow with each great deed. The Uruks will come to know weapons adorned by them in name, as they have Glamdring and Orcrist to fear its great power. Mentions from the Lord of the Rings and Hobbit stories. Mordor, a land of shadow and the home of the second Dark Lord of the Middle-earth, Sauron. Mordor beckons to spirits and calls them dark things to its twisted heart. It is home to many monstrous creatures, amongst them Caragors, Graugs, and the Ungol, monsters neither the Uruks nor their Dark Lord have tamed. Its burning heart, Orodruin, currently lays dormant. It has been still for thousands of years. Sauron's fortress, Barad-dûr, has not been fully razed, and it's cloaked from sight by a dark shroud. The Uruks have seized all of Mordor for the Black Gate to the Noom, hundreds of miles to the south. Many innocent people have been trapped with little hope of escape. Morannon. The Black Gate of Mordor is a formidably defensive structure that spans the gap between Mordor's arid Lithiu Ash Mountains and the Epil Duoth Mountains of Shadow. It has alternately protected Mordor from Gondorian invasion and Gondor from Mordor. Its walls are built of stone and are impregnable. The magnificent structure was created during the Second Age with the Dark Lord Sauron's forces using the power of the One Ring. Later, after Sauron's defeat at the Ballad of Dagorlad, Gondorians used prison labor to construct the Towers of the Teeth, Nar Coast and Sar Coast, on each side of the Great Wall. Rangers of Gondor manned the gate for over 2,000 years, but their numbers have dwindled dramatically since the Great Plague. Undune. The Valley of Undune is a harsh and unaccommodating land used primarily as a way station for armies with ambitions to breach Mordor or attack from it. The sprawling land was once populated by Gondorian outcasts, but is now commanded by the Uruks. Undune is bounded by the Black Gate in the north and the Iron Jaws of Karak Angen to the south, defended by the re-occupied strongholds Durthang, and cut by the imposing black roads leading to the fortress ruins of Barad-dûr, where the Dark Lord has retreated after his defeat by the White Council of Dol Guldur. Orodruin, the mountain. Orodruin, better known as Mount Doom, is the greatest volcano in Middle-earth and the fiery heart of Sauron's realm. It is in this Samathnar, Chamber of Fire, within the mountain that Sauron forged the One Ring to dominate all of Middle-earth, and is the only place where it can be unmade. Ur-Druin has been dormant since the One Ring was cut from Sauron's hand on its very slopes. It was once more burst into flame when Sauron has rebuilt his power in the ruins of Barad-dûr, where the Return of the King ends at. Barad-dûr, the Dark Tower, has lain in the ruins since it was cast down by Gondor after Sauron's defeat at the end of the Second Age. However, as long as Sauron survives, the foundations of Barad-dûr can never be destroyed. It is these ruins that Sauron has retreated since his return to Mordor. Hidden behind a sorcerer's veil, he has begun to rebuild the power for the Great War of the Ring to come. Carrick Angun. The iron jaws of Carrick Angun are formed by spurs of Mordor's Ered Luthil, Ash Mountains, and its Ephel Duath, Mountains of Shadow. The solitary gateway between the Valley of Undun to the north and the Plateau of Gorgoroth to the south. This pass has been heavily modified to augment its defenses, and its Black Road has been dramatically widened to prepare for the Dark Lord's armies. Under Uruk's supervision, slaves of Carrick Angun have constructed the Gurthwar, an oppressive towering stone and steel monument to Sauron, one paying homage to the Dark Lord's past and celebrating his inevitable victory over the kingdoms of men. The Gurthwar. I'm not going to do all these, by the way, because otherwise the episode would be just this. A mere glance at the Gurthwar is sufficient enough to instill dread in any human. It is more than an ostentatious representation of the Dark Lord Sauron's power. It is a statement of intent and a supernatural expression of his presence. A giant stone-carved Sauron, magnificently clad in armor, holds in his hands chains to which are tethered the subjugated kings of men. Gurthwar radiates corruption and power. Sauron's will built the statue just as it restored him to power after his defeat by Gil-galad and Elendil. Look upon me in despair, Gurthwar commands. It gets destroyed by this point. I think I read that one already. The Black Road. Mordor is a central highway. Central highway. The Black Road runs from the Black Gate through the Valley of Undun, intersects the Gorgoroth Plains, and terminates at the edge of the Sorcerer's Veil, protecting the fortress of Barad-dûr. Since its construction in the Second Age, the Black Road has functioned primarily as a passageway for Middle-earth's many invading or retreating armies. The road is back again under Orcish control as an ominous portent, being widened by the enslaved people of Undun to support the Dark Lord's growing armies. I think that one I already clicked. The Barrows. The Uruks will not admit to feeling fear, but they avoid the Barrows. They believe these caverns to be haunted by the vengeful dead, the spirits of men and elves slain at the Battle of Dagorlad. The truth is not so far from this suspicion. I think Aragorn goes here in the books to get that army. But anyway, because of these caverns are avoided by the Uruks, they make an ideal refuge for the outcast. Oh wait, no, that's something else. Never mind. Outcasts of Undun, and the Barrows are the headquarters of their leader, Hirgon. They are connected to a series of caves which lead out of Mordor, emerging on the other side beneath the Black Cave. It is there that the outcasts can hope to escape from Mordor and reach the freedom of Minas Tirith. Barad-dûr. Barad-dûr was built by the forces of Gondor immediately after the defeat of Sauron at the end of the Second Age. Its purpose was to watch over the Sea of Nurnen and to deter invading fleets traveling up the Gurtharent River from the south. It was abandoned when the Great Plague of TA 1636 struck from the east, and the retreating soldiers carried the plague home with them to Osgiliath. The garrison never recovered, and the abandoned fort was occupied by the Corsairs of Umbar and renamed the Maw of Hope. It then became a base of operations for piracy and Corsair raids into Ithilien and Khand. Over time, the raiders settled down to the fish and farm for the fertile lands of Nurn and became the tribesmen. Durthang, a Gondorian stronghold built in Undun after the defeat of Sauron by the Last Alliance. The Durthang stood watch over Carrick Angun and the lands beyond it. Rangers posted the garrison patrolled Undun for more than 1,000 years, but attrition, invading Easterlings, and the Great Plague weakened their ranks. Eventually, the stronghold became impossible to hold. It was abandoned in the Third Age of Middle-earth in TA 1640, and since Sauron's return, has been taken over by the Uruks as a military fortress. I think I've done that already. Sea of Nurnen. Natives claim Mordor's inland sea is haunted. Waters from Nurnen irrigate crops, but since the Dark Lord's return, it has become bitter and undrinkable to men. Nurnen fisheries harvest strange, beaked abominations that howl in the nest. Sailors who work the trade routes before the Uruks capture Nurn speak of multi-tentacled horrors powerful enough to capsize and destroy the great slave barges that Uruks are used to transporting their captives. I didn't know the Cthulhu was in Lord of the Rings. On the banks of Nurnen, the fortress of Tharbad operates as the city of slaves. Uruks process their captives there before shipping them to the sites across Mordor and beyond. Nurmen fishery. Oh, wow. That's a kraken. The Uruks have seized the Nurman fishery, expanding it to the better feed their massive army. Although the Uruks do not understand the scope of their offense, the men of Nurn do. They speak of the Watcher, a demon of the sea, a furious spirit that will brook no intrusion into its waters and will suffer no defilement of its home. In time, the Watcher will rise up in anger and churn the waters with massive tentacles and lash out with a razor-toothed mouth at those who would defile the sea of Nurnen. The fishery has been destroyed before. I don't think that ever comes up in the actual books or anything. Fort Morn. Fort Morn is the hub of the main trade route of the southern Mordor, connecting the Thoroband to the west and Nargoth in the north, and Eastern Guard along the Khand Road. It is a staging post for its slaves, building Sauron's war machine. Also holds the food to feed Mordor's growing armies. Rings of Power. 3 rings for the elven kings under the sky, 7 for the dwarf lords in their halls of stone, 9 for the mortal men doomed to die, 1 for the dark lord on his dark throne. In the land of Mordor where the shadows lie, 1 ring to rule them all, 1 ring to find them, 1 ring to bring them all and in the darkness bind them. In the land of Mordor where the shadow lie. I would have said that slowly, but I'm trying to get through these really quick, so. And that's it. How do I have some not discovered? Are those DLC stuff? Alright, whatever. I guess I did read all of them. Alright, time to chase the Black Hand down and see if we can stealth drain him. We got 7 minutes to do it. Let's hope we can. At least the game forces a stealth scene for the finale of the game, at least. Well, I don't know if I say force is a good term, but it makes use of it. Okay, can we find him? Because we got stealth drain him.
What do you still fight for?
Wait, what? It's not letting me stealth drain him for some reason. Oh, there it is. Nope. Ah, come on, game.
Come to me,
I was right behind him and it wouldn't let me stealth drain him. That's BS, game. Seriously, it wouldn't let me drain him. Like I was sitting there, and it wouldn't let me do it. Why wouldn't it let me do it? That's, like I said, that's bullshit. I think there's some glitches with
walked through the grave. I shall walk through the grave again and again.
There he is.
You know that it is your place to stay there.
Maybe it'll let me. Maybe I have to do it from up top or something like that. But I was like right behind him and it wouldn't let me do it. There we go. Well, there's one.
You think you can defeat the great? Not even Ritual.
Did he see me? Nope.
You seek vengeance for us.
It's not letting me stealth drain him. What the hell, game? Whatever. I guess I have to do it from up top. Alright, whatever. Fuck you, game. Is it a specific dude's? Maybe that's it. Maybe he teleports in between his forms or something?
Shatter your pain. And make you swallow every shard of your...
Because, okay, so there's multiple ones of him, right? So does that mean there's just... Does that mean he just has multiple copies and you can't drain the copies? Is that why it wouldn't let me do it? But sometimes he'll teleport into his copy or something? I don't know.
How can you purge darkness in this land?
I don't know, can I? Is that him there? Well, we'll find out, I guess. Is that it? No, I guess one more. No, I don't need to grab those. Oh, do we need to go back? Oh, okay, go to... Wait, what? Doesn't that kind of spoil something when you do stuff like that, game? Yeah, whatever. At least we did it. Alright, let's go back. I don't know why I got angry at that bit. It's just, like, if it doesn't do something in the game, like, doesn't... Well, it doesn't have to tell me, it's just... It was slightly annoying, let's just say that. Anyway, why would it say go to my wife? She's dead. What the? No! She's alive! Oh, I wish it to be true. Hello, hi, you bastard! Dick!
You will never see your family again.
Asshole. Don't use my family against me, bitch. Take it, bitch! Boom! Fuck you. Don't get the Gondorian in the images of his wife, who was a supreme hottie, by the way. Oh, that was easy. Goodbye, Black Hand. Who knew that's all it took? Just a pissed off ranger with a wraith spirit inside of him.
You said we were cursed. You deceived me.
It was Sauron's doing. This was your doing!
I should have died with my family.
I thought you wanted revenge. I can't leave you. There is only one way to close the circle. The Black Hand remains.
Not for long.
Cal Brimboard making us make us do his dirty work. Oh, do we go back? Oh, that's right, because he said the Black Hand was trying to find us earlier.
Very soon, the Dark Lord and his army will march all over Mordor, but a great power can be awakened to prevent it.
Is that why I'm here?
Why is it replaying a scene that we've already heard before? Shouldn't it give us like new dialogue just to kind of fill in random gaps in the story and stuff like that? I mean, whatever. It's storytelling, whatever. I don't know. I'm not that annoyed. I'm just... Huh. Well then, apparently we've got one more mission to go.
We must return to...
Arid Glamhoth. Arid Glamhoth, evil host, is a place of great horror, even to the evil inhabitants of Mordor. The Uruks and the children of Shelob avoid the haunted passes of the mountains. It is here that the Tower of Sauron was made his fortress, and the land around echoes with the screams of the living and dead alike. Apparently our story's not quite over yet. I could have swore this is the finale. I apologize, folks. I could have swore we were at the end of the game. I guess we got one last little bit to go. This might be a long episode.
The Black Hand has been here. I can feel it.
Lothariel.
Uh-oh. Gotta save them. Whoops. Well, let's go ahead and do it. I might just make this a two-parter. Okay, now if you need to do anything, you're good to go. I could have swore from the videos I saw like a long time ago. Now remember, this was years ago that I last checked, because I think this game came out in like 2014, 15 or something like that. It was a long time ago. Sometimes you forget things. But anyway, let's go see, let's make sure we can save them, or make sure they're not all dead. Because, hey, we lost one lady love, we can't let one that we let get away die too. Just got to, I would hate for a perfect pair of breasts to be killed like that. Mordor in flames. Attention, starting this mission will take you through the end of your journey, but once you finish, you'll be returned to continue where you left off. So this is the end of the game. Okay. Mordor in flames. Should I just go ahead and stop now? You know what? I think I will. Alright, folks. For the true finale of Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor, we'll finish this story. Celebrimbor and Tabion's story will finally come to an end. Will we be able to save the tribes of Mordor and stop Sauron and the Black Hand forever? Or will we have to wait till a plucky young hobbit to finish the tale for us? Find out next time in the finale of Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.